These people were obviously doing way too much talking. Way too much talking. But then again, of course, you have statutes now like resisting an officer without violence, and where they try to make you think that if you don't do their job for them, then you're committing a misdemeanor. Can't lie to us, but we can lie to you.
Deals in human trafficking, firearms, anything illegal where they can make money, and they're very dangerous folks. Oh, by the way, she brought her daughter and son to do the deal with us with the 11 pounds. Another family operation.
Like, I don't agree with what they're saying these people are doing or alleging these people are doing. I don't condone that kind of shit. But we all know the tendencies of law enforcement.
Richard Walker, I can't leave him out. He's 66 years old. He's a bank robber. He did 20 years for robbing banks with a firearm, aggravated assault. He's a multi-pound purchaser and a multi-ounce seller in Polk County. By the way, we VOP'd him. He lives in Hollywood, but he comes up here to buy his dope and deals kind of with this little quadrant of people on the corner as ounce dealers. And then there's Antonio Valdez Mendoza. He is here illegally. He brought in.
It's crazy. Like, he sounds so uneducated. It's not even funny. And I have my tendencies where can tend to speak, improper and stuff like that. But my God, so this guy got into law enforcement when he was 18. In 9 years, he made captain. When he was 50, he made sheriff. That was in 2004, and he's been. This is all off of Wikipedia that I got this from. So if it's wrong, I mean, I apologize, but that's what I'm going on. I'm trying to do more deep diving, but and he's run unopposed since 2004, and apparently the one person who ran against him, he made a comment about, didn't I lock you up in my jail, and has run unopposed ever since then. The guy had to end his campaign after that. This guy is out of control.
24 pounds of meth from California. He has a previous criminal history, and he's the one that actually provided the meth for the Hillsborough County case. Then there's Marcos Antonio Ascension. He's 36. He was arrested by the sheriff's office in 2017 for discharge of a firearm at a bar. He's here illegally. State attorney did a good job. He spent time, and they deported him. You think, whew, he's gone. It's not that easy. We got an outstanding warrant for him because he's now in Mexico directing the multi-kilo meth operation that's going on here. He's the one putting the connections together to get the drugs sent up here. We've got outstanding warrants for him. Oh, by the way, if you don't think these people aren't violent, his girlfriend, Yahara Latorre, was sentenced to 10 years for shooting another lady in the parking lot of the Walmart in Haines City, I think last year or year before last. James Robinson, old Bud. Bud's 76 years old.
See, the sheriff's office and police departments have so many resources at their disposal. They can dig up all this shit. The general public's at a big disadvantage when it comes to technology and the tools they have at their disposal on being on the up and up. A lot of people don't even have computers. They can go to libraries and stuff like that, but like you said, if it's up to them to want to know this stuff. So
Now, why do I show you Bud? because everybody needs to know about Bud. You see, there's these people marching around, same ones that's talking about low-level, nonviolent drug offenses, that says we ought to let senior citizens out of prison early. Well, first off, you know what their definition of a senior citizen is? 55 years old. That hurts.
That's you, buddy. You were a senior citizen yourself.
My heart. But anyway, Bud's 76. So, newsflash, if you think you can't commit crime at 76, the dude is an ounce dealer of meth at 76 years of age. Oh, he's already been to prison for trafficking in meth. He's been arrested for sex offenses back to 1964 and sex offense against a child in 1976. He's done a 7-year minimum mandatory. And they don't think we should lock folks up like this. He's a menace. He's dangerous. Before I close out, and I've got a news flash that I want to give you, but I'll wait on that until after Assistant Supervisor in Charge, ASAC, John Vecchio, has an opportunity to speak with you. And I can't brag enough on FDLE. The teamwork that they provide with us is totally remarkable, and we work with them anytime we get outside the borders of Polk County, and we'll chase people wherever we have to chase them. We can always count on FDLE. They're our partners, and they're there with us, and they're just totally awesome. And once again, we couldn't have been successful without you. Talk to us.
Good morning. My name is John Vecchio. I'm an Assistant Special Agent in Charge for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in the Tampa Bay area. I'm glad to talk to you this morning and to thank Sheriff Judd and his team to talk about the dismantling of this organization. Last year, FDLE purchased 1/2 pound of methamphetamine from a well-documented mid-level drug trafficker. Eric Rea delivered 1/2 pound of methamphetamines to an undercover FDLE agent in a hotel. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the Polk County Sheriff's Office quickly realized that this trafficker was part of a larger drug organization and that was already being investigated by the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Both agencies combined our resources to dismantle this international drug trafficking organization and disrupt the flow of illegal drugs into the state of Florida and ultimately the Tampa Bay area. The organization was made up of upper-level traffickers and distributors. It was close-knit and was hard to infiltrate.
You know, it said it started in 2016, and they're just now wrapping it up, I guess. So, yeah. But you guys can't even read what you wrote down, so...
But the persistence of detectives and agents was unrelenting. As the flow of drugs from Mexico made their way into Florida, we were determined to shut it down.
The drug war is bullshit, people. And the more that you let them butter you up, thinking that they're doing something with this drug war, the dumber you make yourself sound.
FDLE agents and Polk County investigators dedicated hundreds of hours into this case, which resulted in multiple arrests, the seizure of large amounts of illegal drugs and firearms. As you see, where there are drugs, there are guns. Thank you to Sheriff Judd, the tremendous work of his people, our dedicated partners, and FDLE agents who helped this investigation come to a close. We hope this sends a message to our traffickers, not in our backyard.
Oh, it's a beautiful speech, sir.
Thank you, sir. As we close out today, and I'm going to branch over, I think you heard me talk about these low-level, nonviolent
shut the fuck
drug
up,
offenders.
bro.
Currently, Senator Brandes in the Florida Senate is pushing a now 300-page criminal justice reform bill he dropped last week.
And now this is him talking for the second time about this. This hurts their business. I think we charge $2.50 a day to put people in Polk County jail.
And he says, you know, we need to reduce from 85 to 65% these nonviolent low-level drug offenders, do away with minimum mandatories, give judges discretion. Ladies and gentlemen, crime in Florida is at a 47-year low. It's at a 47-year low because the wisdom of the legislature and Governor Lawton Chiles, a dear friend of mine who was governor at the time.
You see where this is going.
When the felons owned Florida. When in Europe they were warning tourists, don't come to Florida on vacation, because you can end up coming back home to Europe in a pine box, or being robbed, or beat up, or shot in rest areas. The Florida legislature gave us 10-20 life, minimum mandatory sentences, and precipitously the out of control.
That whole Europe shit sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Crime that was going like this started going like this. And now they're saying, oh, we're being too tough on criminals. When in fact, statistically, we're only sending maybe 3.6, less than 4 out of every 100 criminals we arrest this year in the state of Florida. Statistically, less than 4 of them will do any time at all.
I think it's pretty common knowledge now that our country has the most incarcerated people out of any country in the world, so you can take all this and shove it right up your ass, Papa GJ.
All in a state prison. And only the worst of the worst end up in state prison for a long period of time. And that's these people that are dealing kilos and kilos and kilos, or either they have long histories that they don't get the message. But still there are those that said, hey, it's a drug offense, and Senator Brandes has filed this bill, and it's going to do great because it's only going to affect reducing the sentence from 85 to 65 on low-level nonviolent offenses. I'm provided this data here. Here's what would receive a reduced sentence. Lewd molestation, attempted lewd molestation, lewd battery, child neglect, possession of child pornography, promoting the performance of a child in child pornography, selling or buying minors, solicitation of a child to commit an unlawful sex act, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Now he's going to pick the worst sounding of the worst of all those things. And, yeah. Yep. This is what I'm dealing with out here in Polk County, you guys. These are the only ones so far who have succeeded in charging me for public records.
Human trafficking, animal cruelty, vehicular homicide, elderly exploitation, DUI with serious bodily harm, and...
Oh, and they also enforce policies and feelings, I'm sure, too. Policies, I know for sure. They're law enforcement. They're not there to enforce policies.
Drug trafficking. Does that sound like minor, nonviolent felonies to you? They're playing word games with the people of the state of Florida.